She pointed at me from across the fence line and shouted like she owned the entire valley. "You, step back. HOA security is on the way." I didn't even react, because I knew something was off the moment. I saw two men in cheap black uniforms standing behind her truck. They had no badges, no plates, nothing. Just dark glasses and hands already resting on their belts like they were waiting for a signal. Karen strutted forward, chin high, acting like she ran my whole ranch. "You can't build that barn without HOA approval," she said, waving a fake-looking clipboard at me. "I warned you yesterday. Now my officers will handle you." Her officers moved closer, boots crunching on my gravel. One of them looked nervous. The other kept his hand a little too close to his gun. My pulse didn't rise. My voice didn't shake. I just stood there, calm, watching them act like tough guys on land that had been in my family for 3 generations. Then Karen yelled, "He's resisting. Do something." That's when the taller fake cop stepped forward, pulled his jacket back, and I saw it. A gun pointed at my chest. He barked, "Hands up now." I didn't move, didn't blink, because the moment that barrel aimed at me, something inside me switched. Memories of nighttime raids, sandstorms, and the sound of real danger echoed in my head. These guys had no idea what line they had just crossed. Karen smirked, thinking she finally had power over me. "Told you," she said softly. "Nobody disobeys my HOA." But she had no clue. The man she was trying to scare was a Navy SEAL, who had dealt with threats 1,000 times worse than 2 amateurs, playing dress-up. And as the fake cop's finger tightened on the trigger, I felt a slow, cold smile pull at the corner of my mouth. "Careful," I said quietly. "You're aiming at the wrong guy." The fake cop froze for a second, like he didn't expect me to talk back. His hand shook just a little, and that tiny tremble told me everything. He wasn't trained, he wasn't confident, and he definitely wasn't ready for what was about to happen. Karen marched closer, pointing at me like she was conducting an orchestra. "Arrest him. Do you hear me? He's dangerous." He threatened me, "Tell them." She shouted, hoping her lies would suddenly turn real. The shorter fake cop glanced at her, confused. Ma'am, he's just standing there." "Are you blind?" She snapped. "He's violating at least 5 HOA rules. That barn, that fence, that truck, none of it's approved." I almost laughed. My ranch was 20 miles outside the nearest neighborhood. But she was so deep in her fantasy. Power trip she didn't even hear. How insane she sounded. The taller one pressed the gun closer. "Last warning, kneel." I stepped forward instead. His eyes widened. "Hey, stop." But he backed up. 1 step, 2 steps. He knew something was wrong. He could feel it. Karen didn't. She was too blinded by ego. "Do it," she screamed. "Make an example out of him." That word, example, hit me harder than the gun in my face. I'd heard it from enemy fighters overseas. It meant they weren't just here to scare me. They wanted to humiliate me. Maybe worse. My jaw tightened. Not on my land. Not today. I lifted my hand slowly, but not in surrender. Just enough to reveal the small black device clipped to my vest. My ranch security remote. With 1 tap, the cameras around the property turned toward us, and the red recording lights blinked on. The taller fake cop saw it. "Turn that off," he hissed. "No," I said simply. Karen scoffed. "What is that supposed to do? These are trained officers." I looked straight at her. "Karen, you really should have checked who you were messing with." A truck engine growled in the distance, loud, deep, official. Karen turned, confused, as blue-red lights flashed through the trees. Real sheriff units were heading down my dirt road, and for the first time, the 2 fake cops looked genuinely terrified. The moment the real sheriff vehicles rolled onto my ranch, the fake cops panicked. The tall one lowered his gun so fast he almost dropped it. The shorter one whispered, "We need to go now," but Karen spun around, furious, slapping his arm. "No, stay right here. I called them. They're here for him." She pointed at me again, still stuck in her fantasy even as the real lights flashed across her face. Sheriff Daniels stepped out first, the same man I'd served beside years ago before he traded deployments for small-town law. He took one look at the scene and his expression changed instantly. "Why is a weapon pointed at a landowner on his own property?" he demanded. The tall fake cop tried to answer, but the words tangled in his throat. We were..." "She told us he was..." Karen cut in, screaming, "Arrest him! He's building illegal structures." "I'm the HOA president. Daniel stared at her like she'd grown horns. Ma'am, this land isn't part of any HOA. She blinked. What? Yes, it is. I expanded our jurisdiction. Jurisdiction? He repeated slowly. You don't have jurisdiction over a mailbox, let alone a ranch. The cameras I'd activated continued recording, catching every word, every lie, every second of her meltdown. Daniel's deputies moved fast within moments. The fake cops were disarmed, cuffed, and sitting on the ground. One tried to run, but a deputy tackled him before he got 3 steps. What's going on? Karen yelled. They're my officers. The sheriff turned toward her, voice cold. Ma'am, these men are wanted in 2 counties for impersonating law enforcement. They used you, and you helped them. No, this isn't happening, she muttered, backing up. I was just trying to control the neighborhood. This isn't your neighborhood, I finally said. This is my ranch, my land. She locked eyes with me, and for the first time the arrogance vanished. You tricked me. I stepped closer. You pointed fake authority at a real problem. Daniels lifted a brow. He's being polite. You pointed hired criminals at a Navy SEAL. Karen went pale. I didn't gloat. I didn't raise my voice. I just let the truth settle. The sheriff finished reading her charges. Trespassing, false reporting, harassment, conspiracy. She tried denying everyone, but the footage from my cameras shut her down. As she was led to the cruiser, she twisted back toward me. This isn't over, she spat. I gave her a calm, steady look. It ended the moment your guy pulled a gun on a SEAL. The doors shut. The engine rolled away. Silence spread across my ranch. Daniels came up beside me and shook his head. You always find trouble, don't you? I don't find it, I said. It walks onto my land pretending to be HOA. He laughed. You want us to process the footage? Already backed it up, I replied. Let the system do the rest. As the sun dropped behind my barn that no HOA could ever touch, I felt the weight lift off my chest. My land was safe. My home was mine again. And the world would soon see exactly what happened. Because the video was already going viral. I looked at the cameras and said the line that millions of Americans understood deep in their bones. I fought for this country so no one could ever tell me how to live on my own land. The end. Please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing HOA stories.